Are you tired of being stuck in that confusing hot and cold cycle? You know the one. The more interested you are, the faster she seems to run away. It's a frustrating place to be, and trust me, you're not alone in this. The truth is, when you chase, you're accidentally setting off an alarm you probably don't even know is there. It's not that you're unattractive, it's that most guys were never taught the silent language of attraction and space. So, I'm here to pull back the curtain for you. Think of me as your translator. In this video, I'm going to decode why your non-stop pursuit can actually feel like pressure to her, and I'll show you how to flip that entire dynamic on its head. By the end of this, you'll understand how to use space and a little bit of mystery to build real, genuine attraction, and you'll never feel like you're chasing again. Let's be real, it's one of the most confusing things you can go through. 1 minute, the connection is incredible. The texts are flying back and forth, you're both laughing, and you feel like she's just as into you as you are into her. You're thinking, okay, this is going somewhere. And then, bam. The shift happens. Suddenly, her replies get shorter. Busy becomes her favorite word. That warmth you felt is gone, replaced by this cool distance, and it feels like you just hit an invisible wall. So what's your first instinct? Panic, right? You start thinking, what did I do? I have to fix this. And that's when the chase begins. You text more, you call, you try to lock down the next date, trying to force that connection back to what it was. But here's the trap. The harder you push for that closeness, the more she pulls away, and you're now stuck in this toxic loop of emotional highs and lows. It's an exhausting roller coaster, because those moments of closeness feel so good that you're willing to put up with the distance, just hoping to get that high again. But trust me, this pattern completely erodes trust and makes it impossible to build something real and healthy. It's a game you can't win, because the very act of trying so hard is exactly what makes you lose. So why does this happen? Here's the fundamental truth you have to get. When you chase her relentlessly, you're not communicating, "I'm interested." You're accidentally screaming, "I'm needy." And neediness is the ultimate attraction killer. From a woman's perspective, your constant pursuit can feel like intense pressure, like a threat to her freedom and her sense of self. When you bombard her with attention, you're not giving her the space to choose you. It feels like you're trying to force her into a corner. That pressure is immense, and her natural reaction is to pull back just to get some breathing room. Now, a lot of this is rooted in psychology. You'll see this pattern in what's called attachment theory, where relationships can get stuck in this dance between an anxious partner and an avoidant one. The anxious person, the chaser, is afraid of being abandoned and constantly seeks closeness. The avoidant person gets overwhelmed by that intensity and pulls away to feel safe. And while this can happen with any gender in either role, we're talking about the classic dynamic many guys find themselves in. The more you chase, the more you trigger her need for space, creating that perfect, frustrating loop. Think of it this way. A powerful magnet doesn't chase a piece of metal. It holds its own powerful charge and effortlessly pulls the metal to it. When you chase, you're giving away your charge. You're signaling that your happiness depends on her responding. But a man who is grounded with his own passions and his own life, that self-contained energy is what creates the magnetic pull. Chasing says, "You are my whole world." But being a man who has his own world is infinitely more attractive. Plus, you're destroying one of the most critical parts of early attraction, mystery. We're drawn to guys where we don't have it all figured out on day one. We want the space to wonder about you, to think about you when you're not around. When you're constantly texting and calling, you leave no room for our imagination. You've laid all your cards on the table, and the game is over before it even started. You become predictable, and predictability, trust me, is boring. You're basically robbing her of the chance to miss you. Okay, now let's step into her shoes for a minute. As a woman, I can tell you, sometimes her pulling away has nothing to do with you. Our emotions can come in waves. We might feel insecure or vulnerable and just need a little space to get our footing. It's not always a rejection of you. Sometimes it's just a need to recenter. But a lot of the time, her push is a direct reaction to your pull. When a guy is too available, it can send a signal that he doesn't have much else going on in his life. It can come across as desperate and, ironically, make him seem less desirable. Think about it. Things that are rare are seen as valuable. Your time and your attention are your most valuable assets. If you give them away too freely, you devalue yourself in her eyes. And here's something most guys don't realize. Sometimes, her pulling back is a subconscious test. She's testing your strength. She wants to see how you'll react. Are you going to panic and chase her, proving you're insecure and need her approval? Or are you going to stay cool, confident, and focused on your own life? Trust me, passing this test by not chasing shows a level of self-control that is incredibly attractive. Failing it by becoming needy just confirms her fears and makes her want to pull away even more. Picture it. You had a great date with a guy. You get a nice text from him. Cool. Now imagine 5 more texts that day asking what you're doing and when he can see you again. That initial good feeling is totally gone, replaced by a feeling of being smothered. You start to feel like a prize he's trying to win, not a person he's trying to connect with. The pressure builds, and you just feel the need to back up so you can breathe. That is what your chasing feels like to her. All right, if you're getting some value out of this breakdown and you're ready to stop being the guy who chases and start being the one who attracts, do me a quick favor and smash that like button. It seriously helps the channel and lets me know you want more content like this. And hey, if you're serious about flipping this dynamic, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. So what's the solution to this toxic cycle? The answer isn't to play games or act like you don't care. The real answer is to cultivate this quiet, grounded confidence. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being centered and unshakable in who you are, without needing her validation to feel good about yourself. This energy is the total opposite of that frantic, anxious chasing. The chaser is always reacting. He's checking his phone, overthinking her texts, and living in a state of constant anxiety. But the centered man is proactive. His actions are guided by his own purpose. He has a life he's actually passionate about. His career, his fitness, his goals. His focus is on building his own world, not making a woman the center of it. This is so attractive because it signals a few powerful things. First, self-control. A guy who doesn't get rattled when a woman needs space is a guy in control of his emotions. That emotional stability makes us feel safe. Second, it shows you have high value. A man whose time isn't just given away freely is a man who respects himself, which in turn makes us respect him and his time too. And third, it creates the space for attraction to actually grow. When you stop smothering her, you give her room to breathe, to think about you, and to miss you. You allow her to come to you, which is such a critical part of courtship for a lot of women. It's not about ignoring her. It's about shifting your main focus from getting the girl to building your life. When you do that, attracting women becomes a natural side effect of the man you're becoming, not some desperate goal you're chasing. Okay, understanding the theory is one thing, but you need an action plan to make it real. So here are 4 steps you can take right now to stop the chase and reverse this whole dynamic. First up, get back to your center. Focus on your purpose. Your number 1 priority can't be a woman. It has to be your mission in life. This is the core of it all. Whether it's your career, your business, a creative project, whatever, pour your energy into that. When a man has a clear direction, he becomes naturally magnetic. His energy isn't shooting outwards trying to get validation. It's focused inward, building something real. This makes his attention valuable, something that's earned. When you're busy building your life, you literally don't have time to be needy. You won't be staring at your phone waiting for a text, because you'll be at the gym, in a meeting, or working on your craft. This isn't a tactic, it's a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle we find incredibly attractive. Next up, match her investment. A healthy connection is a two-way street. So many guys make the mistake of putting in 80% of the effort when she's only giving 20%. To stop this, you need to start mirroring her investment. Match her level of communication. If she sends you a short, one-word text, don't write back a novel. If she takes hours to reply, don't text her back in 2 seconds. Now, this isn't about playing petty games. Trust me. It's about self-respect. It's about showing that your time is valuable and you expect things to be mutual. By mirroring her investment, you stop yourself from smothering her, and you let the connection build at a pace that feels comfortable for her too. Third, use the power of space and silence. When you feel her pulling away, your gut instinct is to chase and close that gap. You have to fight that instinct and do the exact opposite. Give her the space she's asking for. If she gets distant, let her be. Let that silence hang there for a bit. This is where her curiosity starts to work. She'll start to wonder, wait, why isn't he chasing me? Most guys would be blowing up my phone right now. That space gives her time to figure out her own feelings without any pressure. And more importantly, it gives her the chance to actually miss you. Attraction grows in space. When you're not constantly there, her mind will start to fill in the gaps, usually by remembering all the good times you had. By stepping back, you give her the chance to realize your value. It's a powerful shift from you seeking her attention to her seeking yours. And number 4, cultivate a little mystery. In the early stages, don't be an open book. Be an onion, with layers she gets to peel back over time. A huge mistake I see guys make is emotional dumping way too early, trying to fast-track a connection. It almost always backfires. It kills the excitement of discovery. Don't tell her your whole life story on date 1. Let her earn the deeper parts of you. Allow her the fun of slowly figuring out who you are. This builds anticipation and keeps her intrigued. A man with a little mystery is a man who keeps a woman guessing. And a woman who is guessing, trust me, is a woman who is interested. So what happens when you actually stop chasing? The whole dynamic is going to shift. At first, she might be confused. Her pattern of pulling away has always been met with a predictable chase. Your sudden stillness will be totally unexpected, but that confusion will quickly turn into curiosity. She'll wonder what changed, what you're up to. All that pressure she felt is gone, and in that space, her attraction for you has room to breathe and grow again. By giving her space, you're showing her you're not a threat to her freedom. You're showing confidence, self-respect, and emotional maturity. And trust me, those qualities are universally attractive. She'll start to see you not as the always available option, but as a high-value man she has to put in the effort to win over. The roles will reverse. She'll be the one initiating contact, asking about your life. The push-pull cycle will finally be broken, replaced by a much healthier dynamic of mutual respect. So that's the list. The big lesson here is that you can't force or chase real attraction. It's the natural result of a man who has built a life he's proud of and knows his own worth. The desperate need for a woman's validation is what pushes her away. The quiet confidence of a man who is complete on his own is what draws her in. Stop trying to be the guy who gets the girl. Instead, focus on becoming the man you're meant to be, centered, driven, and focused on your own mission. When you do that, you won't have to chase love anymore, because you'll become the source of it. You become the magnet, and she'll be naturally pulled toward you. What's the biggest takeaway for you from all of this? Have you been stuck in this dynamic? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you recognize this pattern, you're not alone. And if you're ready to keep decoding the secrets of attraction, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. For your next step, check out the video on the screen. It's the perfect follow-up to everything you just learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.